Atlanta, live from K.L.P studios. Ever wonder what went down behind the scenes of our top stories?
Say what?
Then tune into What Had Happened Was, the only radio station that takes you straight to the source. From coast to coast, tune in now as we dive deep into the stories, the drama, and the moments that shape the culture with
The swanky one, new K.L.P.
and
with your girl, Evelyn Letitia.
live, Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 radio stations, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Because I was chewing on bricks. All white bricks. Are you ready to rumble?
Now I am.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we know what it is.
Yeah, man.
Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for it?
Hey.
What had happened was,
Welcome back, y'all, to our podcast.
what had happened was,
Well, I am one of your hosts, the Evelyn Letitia, coming into my love, my homeboy, Kennedy Lucas Patterson.
Boy, howdy.
And you are tuned in to one of the baddest. You know what it is.
Y'all know what it is. You know what time
Make
it
sure
is, right?
y'all are following us on WHHW Radio 1 on
Ladies and gentlemen,
Instagram and What It Happened Was
what
podcast
had happened was,
on Facebook.
Hey.
what had happened was,
Hey, boy, howdy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and germs, welcome back to another exciting, and I do mean this, guys, another exciting podcast episode. This is
what had happened was,
with your boy K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. Boy, howdy. And then to my right, Evelyn Letitia's in the building. Y'all.
What it do, folk?
So we hope that everyone is ready for another exciting episode.
Yeah.
We're back with another episode. We try to, of course, we being consistent. You know, we had to spring forward a little bit. You know, so we both lost about an hour and a half of sleep, but we had to do this thing for y'all.
Yeah.
But happy March. Spring is here, kinda. I guess. I think this is the real spring this time. It's been.
I don't
feeling
know
warm.
because they're calling like this past weekend. It's been in the 70s and they got in the 80s the other day.
It did.
But then they're talking about next weekend it may dip back to the 20s. Now coming out of South Carolina, we be having all kind of false springs before we finally get a spring. So yeah, ain't no telling. But I did have to cut my air conditioner on the other night. I was like, oh, it's a little. I was like, am I going through the change? It's a little toasty up in here. What's going on?
It's a little toasty. It's a little toasty. Everybody stay safe. I always say buy you a thing of emergency because, you know, people do get sick. It's going from hot to cold. You can be sick. I do want to throw out a PSA to everybody because a lot of people asked me last week, like, so what you doing for spring break? Like, working? My vacation's not until May. Yeah. So I do say to a lot of people, if you are traveling, because I have a lot of colleagues, a lot of friends that are traveling this week when this episode goes out, stay safe, be careful, just be very, very safe. I know a lot of my friends outside my circle, they're going to Miami, and I get it. Yeah. Fun times, but just be careful because it's harsh times we live in, and you know you just never know out there in the world. But before we get to the nitty and gritty, we like to do what we call our catch up moment to catch up with each other. E, what's been going on with you?
what had happened
Well,
was,
What happened?
So first of all, just want to give a shout out to my production team with 3434. We're sorry, excuse me, 3034. I said that wrong, y'all. Forgive me on this.
We
podcast.
lost an hour.
When I tell y'all the struggle is real right now, so if y'all see my eyes kind of low, it's not because I'm higher than a kite. It's because I got another 6 hours of sleep that I need desperately, right? Yes. And I'm a kill it when I get back on this highway and get home.
I bet.
I'm killing it today, right?
I bet.
But my production company, we're 1334. Hey. We are putting on Aggie Pride. We're going to be in Charlotte on March 18th. We are the invited guests and featured guests for an organization that's doing some sponsoring for fundraising for the film. Mm-hmm. So those link for that particular event is going to Moxie Hotel in Charlotte on March the 18th from 6 p.m. to 9. The link is in my bio. We have it shared the flyer on our WHHW Radio 1 page on Instagram.
Mm-hmm, yes.
You can buy tickets. All ticket sales and things go towards the fundraiser for the film. If you're the type of person that say, oh, I can't make it to, but I still want to donate for the film, I will have that link in my bio as well. So you can go to our website at 1334 so that you can send some fundraising monies and things like that. So that's been going on. I got to volunteer. The SEC tournament for women's basketball comes to Greenville, South Carolina every year.
That is lit, too.
Yes. And, I've been living in Greenville now since 2012. I have never, in my entire life, first of all, I've never been to the SEC tournament. But I've been living in Greenville since 2012, and I can't remember what year they started bringing it, but every year they started bringing it to the Greenville. I have yet to go to it because I'm either always out of town, I'm not feeling well, I don't want to put up with the traffic and the peoples, and it's just a lot. Yeah. So, but the organization I play basketball with, Game Changers, and any women who are 20 and older, if you're listening, there's an organization called Game Changers where we are a 501c nonprofit organization that encourages women to continue to play basketball and be active, post high school and stuff like that. So we are partnering with different facilities that we dedicate 2 hours of basketball play every week. So once a week. So where the Greenville chapter, we do every Sunday. The gym opens at 2:50 and we're there from like 3 to 5. And right now we're at Taylor's Rec in Taylor, South Carolina.
Gotcha.
But we have 4 other locations, one in New York, one in Florida. There's another one in South Carolina in Aiken, and then I think the other one I want to say is maybe Virginia. But we're looking to expand in other markets. So if you are a woman, you're trying to build a community of other women to play basketball, because during that 2 hour block, the gym is only for women. And you don't have to have any experience.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you don't have to have any experience, because we also have skills sessions. So if you come in and say, well, I've never played, can you teach me some things? We have people to the side teaching skills. Usually we have one full court that, we're running a full game, and then 3-on-3 on the half court somewhere over here. And people are like, well, I'm too old, or I'm out of shape. I ain't been. Our oldest member that we played with, shout out to Grace.
Shout out to Grace.
Grace is 70 years old, and Grace be out there getting it,
Wow.
And she's taught, on our page, if you go to Instagram, gamechanger.basketball, you'll see some of the testimonials. And I remember Grace talking about, how she could barely walk. She was kind of, not getting out the house much. And now she's built this community, and she's out there active. Same thing with me. I've been active all these years, but I've noticed, since I started Game Changers back in, around August, I'm a lot more, mobile than I used to be. Because when I first got there, these knees was like, girl, what you doing?
I know, this is new.
I know you ain't running down the court. I know that ain't you. That's what my knees were saying. But now we be out there balling and stuff. So we were out at the SEC tournament in downtown Greenville. During the tournament, we had what's called Downtown Dribble, where people registered their children beforehand. All the kids got T-shirts. They got a basketball. And we had these platforms where we had different coaches that were on loudspeakers and were giving them little drills to do and stuff. It was an amazing event. So I'm down there with the kids and dribbling. And then what happens is, from that point where the downtown dribble is on Main Street of Greenville, they block off the street that led to the arena to where the basketball tournament is. And all these kids, I think there was 700, maybe 1,000 kids and parents and people. They walked down to the arena.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And so I got to volunteer for that. Yeah. And then I was inside the arena volunteering at our table for Game Changers to tell people about it. And so I got a ticket to the game, and baby, it was a good game. I got to watch USC Gamecocks and LSU play. Yeah. I made it very clear to people. I'm a Clemson Tiger. That's my alumni. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
But of course, I was pulling for the Gamecocks because it was representing our state. Yeah. And I've always been a Gamecock fan. I grew up in the Low Country of South Carolina, so I'm from Barnwell, South Carolina. From Barnwell to Columbia is about an hour and a half.
Gotcha.
So it was closer, but then I ended up going to school in Clemson. Clemson's 3 hours and 3.5 hours from my hometown.
Gotcha.
In high school, I played 5 years of varsity. 2 of those years, one of my teammates that was 3 years older than me, when she graduated, she played for USC. We've been to we've taken team trip to watch her play.
Yeah.
She graduated a year or two before Dawn got there though.
Gotcha.
Which the irony of that, I feel like I've been talking a long time, but that's all right.
No, that's all right.
Y'all can wait.
Yeah, we got time.
If I'm tired and I can talk, y'all can listen. But the irony of that, I haven't seen her in a while, but yesterday I was inside the arena when we was about to set up our table, and I'm walking, And I look and I see this lady. I said, Miss Johnson. Her mom was one of our high school teachers.
Oh.
So her mom taught me was it U.S. history in 10th grade.
Oh wow!
I have not seen. Yeah, I have not seen Miss Johnson since I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Like in 2006, and this is my 20th year. High school reunion.
Yeah.
And I said, Miss Johnson. She said, "Oh," and she hugged me like she knew who I was immediately.
Yeah, that's a good sign when teachers remember you from
and I always
years back.
I always tell people this too. Coming throughout school, I was the only Evelyn in my entire school system. From elementary school, I'm talking I started in preschool. From preschool up until 9th grade.
Yeah.
I was the only Evelyn. When I got to 9th grade, there was a senior named Evelyn. But because I was involved in all these sports and academic groups and stuff like that, I was the Evelyn that people readily knew when you said Evelyn's name, because I stayed in the newspaper for stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So of course, I expect most of my teachers to remember me, but Miss Johnson was one of those few black teachers that we had. She was like no nonsense, but one of them no nonsense teachers that you were like, I let Miss Johnson get away with that because I like Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson, but she'll tell you, but she'll put you in your place quick. But you respected her.
Wow.
Right? She was one of those teachers. And I saw her and it was so good to see her. And then as I'm sitting at the table, we got our table, set up and everything. I look up and this lady standing in front of me. I look, I said, Fee, my big cousin from Barnwell.
Really?
Was standing. So I was like, oh my gosh, she was there. Her and her husband. And I haven't gotten to see her in a little minute. And it just so happened she's my cousin. Somewhere in the bloodline, we cousins, second or third cousin, right? But she would tell me a story. She remembers when I was a baby and her, holding me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So fast forward, when I got in high school, my junior and senior year, she was our assistant basketball coach for varsity. So she coached me too.
Yeah.
And then now her daughter, who I remember her daughter was a baby when she was pregnant with her, when she had her. Jaden is now a freshman at Howard University. She coaches on their She pitches on their softball team. And I got to watch some highlights and stuff and part of her game on ESPN the other week.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're at Howard University,
yay, shout out to Howard.
Jaden DeVore, that's my little cousin. Y'all better treat her right because she's a pitching beast.
Yes,
when I tell you, the girl can pitch. But it just felt good to see her on ESPN. It's on the pitcher's mound, Jaden DeVore from Barnwell, South Carolina. I'm like, girl, you better represent our town.
ESPN is growing, and it's because I've worked for them for about a couple of months volunteer work, and it's a spectacle.
Yeah.
Right? You're on TV and on a big network. That's awesome. I love that.
But I got to watch LSU basketball. Listen, they was getting these towels.
Yeah, I saw it over there. The towel's kind of nice.
By the time I walked down to the arena, I said, "Oh, they must have known I needed this towel, cause baby, I was sweating." As soon as that man handed me that towel, I said, "Oh, you must have known." I said, "Oh, child." It got humid because the day it started off kind of overcast. Yeah. When we started with the downtown dribble. Yeah. And then the sun came out. I said, I need some clouds to come back. I need it was kind of humid. And so I got wild, And then I got this shirt. These were the shirts they was giving out to the kids. And of course, some of us volunteers got some too. This is a SEC tournament women's basketball shirt. I don't know if they can let me hold it up. Y'all should be able to see that. Yeah, there it is. Downtown Dribble. That was the event that we had. I said, y'all got any adult large? She said, no, we don't have any more. We got a medium. Yes, I was like Smokey Mama on Friday. I'll make it work. Make it enough. I was like, it gives me some more incentive to keep dropping this weight. Yeah. I said, I can wear it right now, but them girls gonna be tight up there. They're gonna be like, As I said, let me keep losing some weight, but I'll put it on eventually. Yeah. But LSU and USC was balling. I bet. It was an amazing game. Of course, them Lady Gamecocks pulled it out. Yeah. They pulled
Shout out to
y'all. But it was a great game. They was balling. And then after the game, so I didn't stay. There was a second game after theirs. I didn't stay for theirs because I went to my homegirl Adelaide was doing her birthday this weekend. Shout out to Atlee. Hey. And so I was going to their house, and this leg over here was giving me some issues. I thought I'm ready to go sit down somewhere else and stretch out. Yeah. I left the arena right after the USC game. walked all the way back to my car, which was probably a good mile and a half, right?
The beautiful, beautiful red.
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. But I walked from the arena way back up to where we had the downtown dribble. Mm-hmm. I get to my car and I do one of these numbers.
Oh no!
Where is my keys? I said, oh no. Cause it's one thing for you to lose your key in like a place where there's a little bit of people and you can really backtrack and probably find it quick.
But you got a big
But
arena.
when there are thousands of people in an arena, I'm like, oh my God. And then on top of that, my phone died during the second half of the game. So my homegirl Evelyn, my big sis, she has my spare key to my car. I made sure I gave, because my car came with 2 keys, and I made sure I gave it to her because she's one of my emergency contacts.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
so I said, keep this key in case of emergency stuff. Yeah. But now I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to call Evelyn to bring me my key. But my phone ain't even on. It's dead. It's dead. So I'm like, all these people walking around. I said, I can stop somebody and ask them, can I use their phone? But people kind of iffy. They don't want to use their phone. And then I'm like, then if I do call her, because I do know her number by heart, what's the chances of her picking up? Because she really don't answer unknown numbers. Yeah. So I'm like, so then before I decided to ask anybody for a phone, I said, let me just walk back to the arena. It was another mile, about a mile and a half to walk back, right? But I'm like, okay, let me just walk back down the sidewalk. It could have came out anywhere on the route. Yeah. And I just so happened to be walking, and one of my homegirl that was sitting next to me during the game, she's part of Game Changers as well. Uh-huh. We were sitting together at the game. She was like, where you going? Because she was leaving to go to her car, and I was coming back. Yeah. And she's like, where you going? I said, I can't find my key. She said, oh, we found a key on the floor, and there was 2 LSU people next to us, this couple, and we was like talking to them back and forth during the game. Yeah. She's like, yeah, we found a key. We put it in the cup holder. She said, but they're still there. And I said, okay. I said, bless. I said, please. I said, it's probably my key. Yeah. So I get back to the arena. I get inside because I had a wristband that allowed me to come and go. And I said, I'm not trying to stay for a second. I just need to go ahead and get my key. And the lady said, okay, come on. Yeah. And I went up there, and the guy and his girlfriend was still sitting there. I said, hey, my friend said that there was a key. They said, yeah, it's right there. I said, oh, that's mine. I said, bless it. So I got it. Then I had to walk another mile and a half back to my car again. I was like, I said, you know what? I know I must have put in 25,000 steps yesterday. I know it without a shadow of doubt. But I said, you know what? My knees and stuff felt real loose. I said, these thighs felt like them quads and I was getting it.
You feel the burn?
By the time I got to my friend's house, because it was dark and everything, and I'm observing Ramadan, that I couldn't eat or drink anything during the daylight hours. So when we had a big fish fry thing, and all kind of grilled food and stuff yesterday. So when I got to that house, when I tell you I threw that plate, I threw down that plate. I bet you did. I was like hungry between observing Ramadan and then that walk, back and forth. You got your exercise in. I was hungry and famished, and I ended up spending the night at their house. Yeah, because I had my clothes. I took a shower and spent the night there because they live 30 minutes from me. Yeah, but they're closer to Atlanta. Oh, okay. I see. Anytime I know I'm coming to record for us, I'll say, hey, can I just stay over? Because that way I give it in the morning and I'm already 30 minutes closer versus me driving back to my house 30 minutes. Right. And that put me an extra 30 minutes back on.
Yeah, that makes sense. Had a busy weekend.
Jeez, I know that. Look, 17 minutes.
17 minutes. I'll make mine quick.
The one compliment I often get from people is, Evelyn, I can sit and listen to talk to you all. I can sit and listen to you talk all day long because you're such a good storyteller. Now today I'm fumbling across some words and stuff because I'm just tired, y'all. To be honest, even though we knew time was gonna change, and I was the one at the get together last night, and when it got around 1 o'clock, I said, hey. Yeah, y'all ain't gotta go home, but just letting y'all know, because I'm trying to have my homegirls get people to get to move. I said, y'all do know we all losing an hour of sleep tonight, right? Right. And I'm saying this because in the back of my mind, I can't sleep in like y'all. I got to get up and come work, right? For the podcast. Right. So I'm saying that, and I still didn't close my eyes till about 4 this morning. Oh, man. And my clock went off at around 7:15. Yeah. Because I woke up to drink a lot of water because now that daylight savings is here, the days are a lot longer. Yeah. So now I still got to go to March 18th. That's the end of Ramadan. So I got to make sure I get enough calories and enough fluid so that during that daylight hours I don't get dehydrated because you don't do any intake. Yeah. So I woke up at that time to drink so lots of water. I went back to sleep. I said, okay, wake up at 8:30 because 8:30 I would get up, get dressed, and be on the road by 9.
Mm-hmm.
The 8:30 came, and I was just like, I said, okay, I can't. I said 8:50. So I added 20 more minutes.
20 more minutes.
8:50 came, and that's when I said, hey, bro.
Like, hey.
Can we move? Can we push
push
this back to 11:30 and 12? Now, I was sitting there like waiting on your response, and you was like, "Yeah, that's cool." I said, "Okay, well, I'll see you at noon."
Yeah,
I didn't even worry about the 11. When you said it was okay, because I said 11:30 or 12. You said, "Yeah, that's cool." I said, "Well, I'll see you at noon." And I went back to sleep. I was like, so they gave me another like hour, an hour and a half.
And even then, that's not even enough, really.
But it was an eventful weekend.
Yeah,
it was full of fun though, because I had so much fun. Got to go to my first SEC tournament in my backyard, literally in Greenville, because it comes every year, and I just haven't been able to go. But yeah, we got to interact with a lot of kids, a lot of women, to tell them about game changers and stuff like that. So
I'm here for it.
Now on to you, because
real quick.
No, you ain't gotta be quick. Go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
What's going on with me? Dear Isaiah is on his way to Apple TV and Prime. It is guaranteed and official. We got that good email that they passed QC for that part. So that is a long time coming. A lot of people are excited. I am now the co-author of the book we're writing.
You better. Come on, co-author.
Yeah, so I am writing the audio book portion. So basically I'm writing some parts and then transforming it all into an audiobook for audio platforms like Audible and Amazon Music.
Gotcha.
Very, very excited for that because I've never wrote a book before. So that's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah.
I posted this on my Instagram. Over, I think, 750 people viewed it. So there's this movie I did 5 years ago called Guardians. Didn't know anything about it. It was a superhero sci-fi anime type. It was I'm not going to show it to you because it was just like, oh, what is this?
How you going to entice me then so you ain't going to show it to me?
That one.
Forget them, but you can show me.
I ain't showing nobody. The old Guardians. Now, this new Guardians. It's called Guardians. It's a remake.
Okay.
Totally different. The characters look totally different. I don't know if you saw it on my Instagram. I did a post. I was here in the studio editing, and I was editing one of the characters who are warriors, African type warriors. That's going to be in the movie. And everybody's like, "Oh crap, Kennedy, this is what you're doing?" Like, yeah, this is my new thing that I'm working on. Yeah. So, fully sci-fi superhero type movie. Can't wait for it. It's going to be exciting when it comes out later on. I won't give you the year yet because we still working on it. So I don't want to tease y'all too much. Like you, I lost an hour of sleep. I woke up for church and forgot that it was daylight savings time, so it was just that kind of threw me off a little bit. But everything else is going pretty good. Workout is good. Podcast, Coffee Talk, presented by Spotify. The other show, you guys love it. I thank y'all for that. You guys showed us some love on that one. But everything is going pretty well when it comes down to the filming part, to the podcasting part, and then my mental health and physical health has been really, really good. I've been losing. A lot of people have been saying it too lately in the gym and all over. Like, Kennedy, you look different. You look more swoller than usual. Like you doing it. I'm like, yeah, just kind of doing my thing, lifting these weights. Working on them quads as well.
Somebody told me that yesterday when I was downtown. It was like, did you lose weight? Like your waist? I said, it's shrinking. You love that? You see them hips doing this?
Don't you love it when they notice like you look good? Like, what's going on?
I said my Powerade bottle is disappearing. My Coca-Cola shake come back. Like
I love it. Yeah, so that's really my catch up that I've been going on. I've been very, and I gotta thank quite a few people. Shell Purcell, shout out to her. She's filming. She's doing award shows. But I got inspired by you and Q Will. You guys are working on Aggie Pride. I'm like, okay, I need to get my spark back. And that's what enticed me now that we have the technician and the style of my new movie. And Dear Isaiah's getting some good news. I'm like, that's the spark I've been waiting for. I've been missing for a couple of years. So I think this is going to be the year of just great success. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens with all of our film projects. Everybody's projects got cooking up. It's awesome.
All that.
What happened, E?
You say you're waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
That's literally what we're doing right now as Americans. Because if you've been living under a rock, you may not know that we bombed Iran.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on
around the world. We got Americans that are trapped in Dubai, and I will say that Dubai was like they're gonna continue to pay their hotel fees and all that kind of stuff. I saw one lady was like, I just want to get home and blah blah. I said, girl, bye. Let me be trapped in Dubai, and they talking about they gonna pay my stuff. Baby, pay away. I'd be like room services. Of course, I know some people want to get back on their on their natural like land and everything like that. But I'm just like, because I had this discussion earlier. It's I don't think people should live in fear, right?
Right.
When it's your time to go, you're gonna go. There's nothing anyone else can do with it. Yeah. There's two things to be true in this life.
Yeah.
There's a day that you're born and there's a day that you die. Yeah. And we have no control over what that is. Even when their doctors will say, oh, your due date is this. Mm-hmm. Babies may come before that or after that. Mm-hmm. Or they may have to like go in and get the baby on that day to make it actually happen. Like, so those are two things. The day you were born, the day you die is you have no control over that yourself. So to live in fear is misplaced energy. I do say, keep your head on a swivel. Yeah. Be aware of your surroundings and everything that's going on, because there's been a lot going on here domestically and in our foreign international spaces. But at the same time, it's like as the U.S., you cannot throughout history and continually go around the world putting your footprint everywhere, causing destruction and doing this and that, even if you disagree with, certain things that people are doing, and think that we will never have retaliation. Yeah. Like, that to me would seem very naive. Yeah. To think that we can go around and do whatever we want to any and everybody and that nobody will retaliate. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Now, some people may see it in their lifetime, some people may not. Mm-hmm. There's never been a time when people thought, we'll see a World War III. Yeah. Yeah. And now the way the pieces on the chessboard are moving, it's like,
it's not.
You're like, what's going on?
What's going on? We're getting close to it.
Well, Marvin Gaye said, what's going on?
Yeah, let us know.
Like, I just, it's a lot going on. So I just want people to stay encouraged just to, again, not live in fear and let that fear cripple you from having quality of life, right? Because that quantity of life, we know none of us have that death date for certain of what can happen.
One thing I always try to do, because I think it's a lot of, with everything going on, a lot of people have a lot of things, and this affects a lot of people mentally. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that a lot of people that I've read that they're doing, it's not only listening to us podcasters or listening to music, but when I know that I am trying to avoid the mental of fear. If it's a sunny day, I'm going outside and I'm walking because I'm just breathing in that fresh oxygen, that fresh air, and just kind of calm my nerves down a little bit. And maybe that helps for a lot of people out there that's listening. If that does work, let us know, because it does work after gym when I'm going to the park, because I know there's a lot of craziness that's going on around the world. It affects me because I do have a lot of friends from different types of origins and different types of backgrounds and religions and beliefs and countries. So it just affects, I think this part also affects a lot of people when you are in a more diverse friend circle, let alone work at one of the most diverse institutions in Georgia. So it just kind of, it stings a little bit, and it allowed people to think differently about other people. And then there's a lot of different difficult conversations, because again, when you work at a diverse institution, these are the conversations that pop up, and some people want to talk about it, but then they get mean, get a little racist about it. Some people don't want to talk about it because it makes them feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Right. So that's a sad dynamic that we're in. To be able to not, talk about it without feeling uncomfortable.
And I think that's some of the issue though too, is that this feeling of we don't want to be uncomfortable is what's allowed racism to remain. It's also allowed people to try to erase history. Yeah. Because you don't. I don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to be uncomfortable by the truth. Yeah. But had no problem with bodies hanging like strange fruit. Yeah. You don't want to be uncomfortable by the truth. Mm-hmm. but you have no problem with knowing things were separate but nowhere near equal.
Yeah.
You don't want to be uncomfortable with the truth, but okay with black and brown bodies disappearing.
Yeah.
Or showing up again as strange fruit and then you calling it a suicide.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen that lately too. Like a lot of people, well, I won't name the areas that I be in because I ain't trying to incriminate myself, give myself trouble. But like, you can tell when some people, when they feel uncomfortable, they just like, they shrug away like this. So like, I'm not trying to, I just came to have some lunch. Like, you good. You don't have to feel, I can't stand it when people do that. But it's true that people are like that because they're scared.
If my presence scares you, well, move the hell on then. That just give me more space to stretch out.
Yeah, stretch out.
Move on. like you know how some people get offended when people, like you said, you know, you go to sit down and they get up and move. Or,
that happens to me like almost every day.
You know what? That does not offend me.
Yeah.
Because again, all you're doing is clearing and making more room for my intimate space.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if my presence makes you uncomfortable and you move, I'm like, good riddance.
Good riddance.
Because I think about a time where my grandmother was alive and the things she went through and people of her generation. There used to be a time where black people, when they're walking down the street, if a white person was coming, you had to cross the street to get out of that path.
Yep.
Or if there was no way for you to cross the street, you had to keep your eyes on the ground and not make eye contact.
Yeah.
Like, so when you think about that form of history, I will never allow anybody to make me feel uncomfortable about being present, about being here, about being where I deserve to be, where I want to be, where I need to be. So if it makes you uncomfortable and you feel like you got to move around, then get the hell on. I'm like,
one thing I've noticed that lately. I've noticed that lately with some other colleagues and people out there in public that I've been, some spaces I've been in. Like, wow, you're really uncomfortable with is it my skin you're uncomfortable with, or me being a black man?
Probably both.
That's the thing. Probably both. Yeah. Probably both. It's like, okay, cool. I see how you are. I'm gonna maneuver this way.
Well, and you know, I told you because I got so much footage, BTS, and all kinds of stuff in my phone. So I've been on like a posting spree, like you know. So people have been. I'm trying to get stuff out because I got great content. So I don't want to just delete it. So I've been posting. So I always start each one as it'll say hashtag throwback, hashtag late post, so people know that like this ain't just happened. It's just been in my phone for a minute. Yeah. But I captured specifically one of those times. It was right after I left one of our recording sessions, and I still got the posters. Yeah. And you know that there's a Zaxby's up, you know.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
So I got some food, and I was like, oh, I want to eat this before I get on the road. So where the Ingles is, that you know how that empty parking lot with the buildings next to it? Yeah. It looked like it used to be some kind of grocery store. Maybe that was the old Ingles, and they made a bigger one. Yeah. But I pulled over there because a lot of these new constructions and stuff where they build parking lots, they don't put trees in them anymore. Was that me?
That probably was you.
I apologize, y'all. That was me. I own that one. Because it was on for my clock, but I didn't put the do not disturb on. But
they like us being natural anyway.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah,
you know,
real.
No green screen here. Well, maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, so I pulled over there because a lot of parking lots don't have trees anymore. Yeah. And it used to be like 2 or 3 years ago, they would have like trees by like the little sections in the parking lot. So I would pull where the shade is to eat or something. Yeah. So for this one, I had to pull in and I parked like right beside the building because the overcast of the top of the building gave shade right there. Mm-hmm. But I noticed that there was this vehicle kind of following me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe they ain't following me. When I turned off here, this person turned. Then when I turned into the parking lot, this person turned. And then they when I pulled over, I guess they thought I was going to keep going, but when I pulled over to park right next to the building, they drove past me. I said, okay, well, maybe they weren't following me. Yeah. But then he comes back. He circles back.
You got no other business.
And again, like I had already, my spidey senses were already kind of tingling. Yeah. So I had already started, I said, let me start recording. And as I started recording, and I was talking, I said, this person said they follow me. And then he comes, and he stops right beside my car. Mm-hmm. And he ends up like kind of gesturing for me to let my window down. He was trying to talk to me. And I said, yes. He said, do you know who owns this building? And I felt like it's a bunch of BS. And I tell you why.
Yeah, that sounds like a bunch of BS to me.
And I said, what? No. He said, okay. And I tell you why it's a bunch of BS. Because in the video, when I turn the camera around, where I'm parked, right in front, is a window that has for lease.
Yeah.
It has the people name on it and the huge number to call.
Wow. Yeah, that's BS.
And I'm like, I said it's gonna be one of those videos. That, you know how people that voiceovers like, when you're black, you're never alone. Like it's gonna be one of them. So,
I can't wait to.
And I was kind of pissed because I'm like, I'm trying to just pull over, eat my food, and here you go. Being those, if you wanted to know why I'm over here and what I'm doing, ask me that. And this is an older white gentleman that's going, and this is in the state of Georgia. I said, you know what? Let me eat my food and get the hell on out of Georgia, because like,
sorry, we made that impression on you,
baby. It's not y'all impression. I'm from South Carolina. You see what we be at in the history books. Like we're the first darn state to secede from the Union. So like you know, but I was just like, I captured that on video. So you talk about it. I still got to post that. I probably
can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'll make sure I tag. I play it to you,
please.
Yeah, and they got some cursing in it, so I'm gonna give y'all a disclaimer. There's gonna be some curse words. So, because I was like, what the fuck?
Like, what do you mean?
Do you know who owns this, sir? And I'm sitting in my car like, do I look like I'm an executive or somebody that would even be here about this building?
Yeah.
Nothing about me says that. I wasn't even in my new car. I was in my old Dodge. So nothing about me looks like, oh, this could be my building or, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just parked here about to try to eat my little Zaxby's.
Yeah, before you get on the road. Jesus.
Child.
More of that. People, mind your business.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
Mind their business. You know, I love these segues.
What had happened was...
Because speaking of mind and business.
Mind your business.
So, recently on Facebook, came across this story about this North Carolina woman.
Yeah.
And it made it all the way to NBC News. So, I'm going to read this. This is from NBC News website. North Carolina mother missing for 24 years is arrested in a 2001 case days after she was found. Oh, wow. Michelle Hundley Smith was taken into custody Wednesday in connection with an outstanding order for arrest related to a DWI charge for November 1st. So I'm going to read this article with y'all. Y'all listen now. You got your listening ears on? Listen.
Yes.
So it says the North Carolina mother who vanished in 2001 was found safe and sound this month, was arrested on an outstanding orders, officials say. Michelle Hundley Smith, 62, was taken into custody Wednesday by Robeson County Sheriff's Offices on arrest order related to her failure to appear in court 25 years ago, the Rockington County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. The Sheriff's Office said Smith failed to appear in court on December 27, 2001, in connection with a charge of driving while intoxicated issued on November 11, 2001 by the Eden Police Department. Says she has posted bond and is scheduled to appear in Rockingham County District Court on March 26. Robeson County is about 175 miles southeast of Rockingham County, which is near the Virginia border. It says, for decades, Smith's disappearance baffled law enforcement in her community in Eden. A small town home, I think it's supposed to say hometown, small hometown to about 15,500 people. She was 38 when she was reported missing, last known to have left home to travel to Kmart in Virginia for Christmas shopping and never returned. It says then a tip came on February 19th of this year, which led to a break in the case, and detectives followed up, and on Friday they made contact with Smith at an undisclosed location within North Carolina, alive and well, the sheriff's office said. At her request, her whereabouts weren't disclosed, but her family was notified that she had been found. Rockingham County Sheriff's Captain Jonathan Cheek told NBC News on Wednesday that there are no charges against Smith connected to her disappearance. He said he doesn't believe there has been any contact between Smith and her family. Smith indicated when she was found that there was no domestic issues before she left on her own accord. Cheek has told NBC News, however, the sheriff's office has no records related to such issues before she departed. Smith has 2 daughters and a son. Her daughter, Amanda Smith, shared on Facebook in 2021. Amanda Smith had been vocal in a search for her mother. On Saturday, she posted on a Facebook page she made dedicated to the search for her mother, writing, I will say that my mother chose her new life, and we know she is alive, and for now, that is enough. The next day, she shared a long post asking for respect for her family as we are hurting and going through a lot. She says, my dad has been through so many accusations since all the way back then. She wrote, my father had been through so much, and I want it made clear that while their marriage had issues, just as many marriages go through, that my mom did not leave simply because of a bad marriage. As far as my opinions and feelings of my mom, I am ecstatic. I am pissed. I am heartbroken. I am all over the map. Will I have a relationship once more with my mom? Honestly, I can't answer that because I don't even know, she continued. The sheriff's office said that the district attorney's office is conducting a full review of the case. Like, imagine that.
Wow.
Your mom leaves to go do some Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
She done told her husband, all right, boo, I'm going to do some Christmas shopping with these kids.
Yeah.
And she literally just dip out.
Oof. I lose my mind.
38, leave your husband, your 3 kids. People, and on Facebook, people in the comment section, you know, because this was when I first seen it. Mark Donner on Facebook. That's why I first seen this message, and it was just, you know, a lot of questions that her kids and people had.
Yeah, I wondered like what was the impact for her kids? I mean, you ain't seen your kids that long. You almost missed them growing up.
Almost, she did.
I mean, most likely, yeah.
Because you think about it, she's gone 25 years, right? She had 3 kids. Even if
even
if you're say you had a newborn,
a
2-year-old, 3-year-old, all those 25 years, they're in their 20s now.
Yeah.
So you missed all of that.
Oh, see,
right? So, you know, you missed their entire childhood, even at their youngest. If you left, you know, and they were, say, 10, 8, 12, whatever, you still are missing a whole chunk of their youth, and they're in their 20s now.
And I think that impacts them heavily, too. Like, with any parent dipping out or going missing or not being there, kids are very imaginative. And when things like that happen, kids lose their... I don't want to say they lose their minds, but they kind of go through something. It puts them
in a tailspin.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And now they have to, I mean, if they have to go through therapy, they got to go through a lot of things that may not be as abnormal to everybody, but they have to go through these things.
Yeah. Because they got to wonder, like, oh, is she alive? She dead?
Like,
did mommy leave because of us? You know?
Yep. Leave because of daddy? You know, what happened? So,
and it's had some mixed reviews on... the story itself. So I'm going to read a few of them. Tracy Pearson Reed said, I would have left her alone. If that was my mom and she left me on her own accord and led me to believe something sinister happened, only to find out she was alive and well many years later and could have contacted me throughout the years, I'm good. It would be a relief. It would be a relief to know she's okay. But as far as reestablishing a relationship, that tie was severed the minute the decision was made to leave us. I just sent her my therapy bill. That's what she said.
Yeah, I mean, and what I was just mentioning, I get it. I get it.
Megan Nicole Bearden said, the only people here who need answers are her children. You know, Lala Gerber said, thank God she had those glamour shots so we know exactly who we're looking for. Because they posted, the original, they posted like this old glamour shot of her back from like 25 years ago. And so that person was being funny. And then somebody named Amber Kano says, I believe what happened was she planned this long before she ran. She came up with the plan to go shopping, and then she booked it. It sounds like she went through motions of being a good mother, but deep down, she didn't want that life, so she thought it easier to just disappear. Did she actually think of all this all the way through? Because no mother who loves her children would just disappear like that, leaving them to wonder what happened to her.
Yeah.
Of course, some people, just like the daughter said, thought maybe it was some kind of domestic violence.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask, what do we think that it could have been some?
Well, according to the ABC, to the NBC News article I just read, and the reports from the sheriff and all that kind of stuff, she denied any domestic abuse, and they did not ever have any kind of reports of domestic abuse. And then Stephanie Best said, "I don't know what the problem is. Dads do it all the time." Ooh.
Well, I mean, you're not lying.
Like
to some dads, I can't say
all
dads.
And think about it. There's a whole joke about so and so's dad went to get milk, and never came home. There's a running joke because men often just up and leave and abandon their families, especially back in the day. Up and leave if they got tired of this family, up and left, and went and started a whole other family somewhere else.
I couldn't do it. Like karma's there too. Karma's a bitch, so I couldn't do it. Yeah, it'll come back on you.
People act, are talking about whether or not it could have been some postpartum and she just having a break. There are people being funny. She said, F them kids. So it's like, And then
it's not funny. But
Crystal Scenario said she never disappeared. She knew exactly what she was doing. Maybe she had already started another family and just left. And so that's one thing that hasn't really come out yet. Well, does she have another family? Husband, whatever. But yeah, I'm that's just crazy. Like, imagine you were able to successfully disappear for 25 years. Then you're found only to be arrested on a DWI charge.
You can't call you can't call them kids and the husband. You left. They ain't got no support for you no more. Right? That's it.
But imagine that 25 years you scot free, you living your best life, and then
I don't know.
A tip comes in and you gotta go to jail for a DWI from 25 years ago. But you know what's ironic about that? Y'all arrested this woman for DWI 25 years ago, which means clearly she hasn't had another one in 25 years, because there's like y'all would have had her like fingerprint, like y'all would have got her in the system and found her. Good point. So clearly she's been living as a decent citizen, not breaking the law. But yet you got people with hard evidence in them Epstein files that y'all are jumping through hoops trying not to arrest. Y'all are jumping through hoops trying not to bring their names up. But this woman with a DWI from 25 years ago and no other spots on her record, y'all are going to arrest her. Child.
It'll let you know what's going on in the world.
Child.
What's a priority and what's not a priority.
The sin of it all. The sin.
I know. Speaking
of sin.
What had happened was
something that I don't do. Sinners.
Yes.
It's up on the upswing. Evelyn.
They was racking up some awards, ain't it?
I mean, look. They went to the what was the BAFTA awards where you remember when one of the I guess somebody had
Tourette's and shouted out.
Yeah, that was a hard take. First and foremost, I applaud them being, Michael B. Jordan and what's the other actor's name? My man, Delroy, keeping it professional. They kept it rolling because really people could just react, but it was like, nope, that's not. We're gonna when they and with him having Tourette's, I can't. It's a little gray area, right? I want to give a grace because I've known two friends who had Tourette's and they can't help it. I understand it, but it's kind of a gray area.
Well, it wasn't fully on his shoulders either because there were reports that came out that he had shouted out some obscene things throughout the night, and where the award ceremony had the opportunity, they could have edited that out. They decided to let that one fly, but they edited out other stuff. So y'all purposely let these two black men be up there, call the N-word, and y'all left that in for the public to see.
Clickbait.
Right?
It's going to sell.
The
story's going to sell.
So that's one of the issues. The other issue I take with it is, yes, he can't control his Tourette's. But his quote, and I'm going to put quotes around this, apology that he had, I think an opportunity was missed for him to directly apologize to the two men. Being, no one's saying apologize for your Tourette's. But if your Tourette offends, it's still okay to say, you know what, I can't control this, but I am deeply apologetic that I offended you in that way or I hurt you in that way.
And said a racial slur.
And someone tried to do a correlation of someone who is, crippled or they may have devices to help them walk or whatever there. And they miss to hit you with their cane or they step on your foot or they roll across your toes. They didn't mean to do that. So that's not what they're apologizing for. But, oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. I hurt your toes, right?
Right.
And that's like a very basic equivalency, right? We know he can't control the Tourette's. But again, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I'm still trying to bring awareness to the Tourette's community and, learning or whatever like that. But I apologize for anyone that, my outburst could have affected, especially the two gentlemen who was on stage. That would have took nothing away from his Tourette's and the foundation and him trying to teach people about it. We're not asking you to be apologetic for having a condition that you cannot control. That's not what we're asking you. Just for the offense that happened. And again, I think the award ceremony set him up for failure too, because y'all had an opportunity to cut that out and y'all left it in for the public to consume. Because there's a delay. Y'all could have blocked that sound out.
Quick enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it brought up this whole conversation when people talk about inclusion. Literally we tell people all the time to read the room.
Read the room, honey.
And while Tourette's is something that people can't control, it's like you read the room. Like, yes, you want inclusion, but would it not make more sense maybe to have a private room or like? And I know it sounds terrible. Like, you don't want people to be separated because you go into a whole can of worms with that.
Yeah.
But when you think about the room in an award ceremony where people are, this is a moment that's going to be life changing for people, winning awards, hearing speeches and stuff like that, and you have something that can't be controlled. Does inclusion in that moment take over the necessary need to have respect for people, everyone in the room?
Right.
So that's the question that comes into play. But
Yep,
but
definitely.
back to Sinners,
but the award BAFTA, they got the NAACP awards, they've got a few, and I think Jill went to that one actually.
Yeah, because she was.
Shout out to her.
I remember she was in consideration for Straw.
Which is really really good. BET Awards, awesome, amazing. We love BET. And SAG. Now, the story here, Michael B. Jordan joins Will Smith, Chadwick Boseman, may he still rest in peace. Denzel, and then Michael B. Jordan did a speech, and he did, I think it was at BET Awards, he tributed that award to Chadwick Boseman, or in NAACP. One of those award shows, he gave his tribute to Chadwick Boseman. I still think Chadwick Boseman died super young, but, he was sick with colon cancer. I still miss him, because he's not just Black Panther, but I've seen all his other movies.
Yeah. He left a great legacy of movies.
Jackie Robinson?
Yeah, he left a great legacy of movies behind.
Oh, and Thurgood Marshall too. He played some iconic people. But back to it, Denzel Washington's on that list. Forrest Whitaker, Jamie Foxx as the only Black male actor to win a leading film acting award at the SAG Awards history, spanning 32 years. And I gotta say, first and foremost, if Michael B. Jordan somehow is watching this podcast, congratulations, because he's on an upswing. And this is just going to be a testament.
Give that man his flowers.
Yeah, your flowers.
Because all of us were Viola Davis when she called his name.
Yeah.
I said, yes, Queen, you better.
It was Viola Davis, and then Samuel Jackson. He was like, oh, like, the Sinners,
All of us,
I think they're going to get a couple of awards at the Oscars. I think it's coming. Let me tell you why this gets me excited. Because if you guys know, me and Evelyn, we're both filmmakers. So when our Black community, our Black coaches getting awards at award shows that they might have had some controversy a little bit because maybe they may not cater to our community. Well, now they're starting to do it now. But back in the day, the whole story was, the Oscars is not really for us, right?
Yeah.
I think movies like Sinners is going to be a testament for us filmmakers to say, okay, if they did it, we can do it too, right? And it gets me very, very excited for Michael B. Jordan because I remember my first ever movie I watched, it was Fruitvale Station. Didn't know who Michael B. Jordan was. Of course, he was a child actor too, but I didn't know he was a child actor because, I just didn't know. My first movie that I seen him in was Fruitvale Station with Octavia Spencer. Fantastic movie. And then now you see him in the Creed movies. Now he's the main villain in Marvel with Killmonger, right? So it gets me very excited for Michael B. Jordan to see he started at Fruitvale Station and now he is growing and now he's on this big movie that's winning all these types of awards. Ryan Coogler, again, I read his article and his interviews. He came from adversity and now he's showing that, hey, I can do it. Anybody could do it, right? Yeah. So just congratulations to Michael B. Jordan to be joining that list for the SAG Awards. Congratulations to cast and crew of Sinners because this is their year.
You think they're gonna win a few Oscars?
I think so. I think, and I'm hoping. Best director, Ryan Coogler. Best male actor, Michael B. Jordan. Maybe Delroy for best supporting actor, maybe. And best picture, the movie. Yeah, is what I think.
I think they'll probably win for costuming.
Oh yeah.
The costume designer. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least they'll be nominated. I feel in the original in the score.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we also got supporting Miles Caton, the one that plays Sammy.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably be
in there.
Yeah.
I think so. So shout out to Sinners. Yeah. It gives us filmmakers hope. It does. You know, I love it.
Amazing
I love
movie.
it.
Amazing movie.
Good movie. And I hate it because I remember a few episodes ago, he's like, "Hey, have you seen Sinners yet, kid?"
When that movie first came out, I know it was a good 4 weeks. Every time we got out, I said, "Have you seen it?" Because I was wanting to talk about it, but it was such a fantastic. I didn't want to give anything away. I didn't want to tell you. I wanted you to have that full experience. I mean, because I went to see it in IMAX, so I'm talking
the big screen. Yeah.
Big screen. I'm up there like. I did not expect to cry, but I started crying during the movie. Let's see with the music and everything, and you see it through time of where they were and into the future, and you see the cultures clashing and going through that whole. I did not know that I would get emotional.
Oh wow!
I started crying. I was like, what is this with substance coming from my face? What is this with substance? Yeah. Like, I started crying, and I was just like, yeah.
They're good. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they say back in theaters, Sinners, because it's. I mean, a lot of movies do that when they're on an upswing like that. They're gonna say, okay, streaming, let's take it off stream. Hey, go see it in theaters one more time. Yeah. So
it was. I see it.
I see it happening. I see it happening. But. Shout out to them.
Note,
on that note, ladies and gentlemen.
On that good, amazing note.
Yes.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another inspiring episode.
I did it so early.
What had happened was podcast. Remember, I told you, make sure that y'all are following us at WHHW Radio 1 on Instagram. And the What Had Happened Was podcast on Facebook. I am your host, Evelyn Letitia, with my boy Kennedy Lucas Patterson.
Boy, howdy.
And you always tune into one of the baddest.
What had happened was...
Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend, tell a friend.
We on here just giving y'all commentary about everything that's going on, but stay tuned. We love interacting with y'all. Be back. Deuces.
Peace. What had happened was...